Hi, everybody. Happy Hump Day. And if you don't get this video until tomorrow, happy Over the Hump Day. I'm going to pull a card today that is from my deck, Light Fragments Oracle Cards. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the artwork on the back side of each of the oracle cards. This picture, which the relief print that I created, originally is in sepia tones. It's in a brownish sepia color. And I have that print hanging in my living room. But I wanted to use this for the back of my cards because the name of the original print from 1979 to 80 is labeled Oracle. Now, art is very intuitive. And oftentimes, an artist will get a precognition, a pre-thought, a download of what it is that they are to create. And being the fact that I was in college at the time, and I was going to be graded on this particular print, there was stress involved in the doing of it, because people talk a lot about artistic, I'm trying to call in the thought. It's being in that moment to create. It's an artistic license, so to speak, where the artist, whatever, the musician, begins to create a form from another dimension. It comes into the mind. It's creation at its best because it involves the mind and the heart and the soul to merge with that which yet doesn't exist. So at that time, when I started creating this print, and this was the culmination of it, I never realized how deep this print was until many, many years later when I was staring at it. Because up until that point, it was an artistic piece that I did in college, but I did not understand the complexity of it. And if you look, we've got a line that goes from a dense area here all the way up where everything is taking place. You could say the mind, the divine mind, all the way up beyond that. Now we have more dense areas up here, but they're breaking apart. They're almost like a mirror to down here. And then what's going on in here are thoughts. They're creations. This could be you, this could be you, this could be the heart of you or me or us. But it's flowing through and going up, transmuting all around. Someone that is a more religious person could see this as Jesus Christ on the cross. Someone that has had an higher intelligent experience with higher intelligence, with beings that are unidentified, could look at this and think of unidentified flying objects even. Someone that is really in touch with source energy or really in touch with God could see this as the planets revolving around the sun, the universe, the universal energy beyond into other dimensions. It has so many meanings, so many dimensional, multi-dimensional meanings. And none of them are wrong and none of them are right. They all just are. That is the explanation of this. And I'm going to keep it when I create an extension of this deck. I'm going to keep some of the cards that are in here, probably 80% of them, and I'm going to move some of them out and put some of the newer versions of the soul auras that I've done in those places, as well as change some of the headings on the cards. And I may not even put an explanation in the cards. I haven't decided yet, but they are going to be smaller. So that's enough of that. What I wanted to do was I wanted to shuffle these cards, and I wanted to pull a card that I know is going to be in alignment for today. I know it. I know it because I've asked. I know because I'm not really picking the cards. I'm the conduit for picking the cards. I'm a conduit for the energy that needs to be seen today for the card picking. I have the fingers, or maybe the card will jump out, which I don't have any control over. But I am going to pick a card as the action, but the card is going to speak for itself, which will bring us into a conversation that needs to be talked about. And you have the choice to accept what you hear and leave the rest. You have the choice to acknowledge the knowledge that is being given, or you have the choice to take what you need out of it and leave the rest. And you also have a choice to reject it totally. The card for today, and I know that this card has come up before, but we're going to talk about it again. And because this card has come up before, I'm going to pick a second card. The card for today is do no harm. Do no harm. What does it mean to do no harm? First and foremost, the doing of no harm has to do with you. It has to do with you. It has to do with doing no harm to yourself by way of judgment, by way of allowing things into your auric field that are unhealthy. It is a process of filtering out the negative to make room for the positive. Now, it is possible, quite possible actually, because we live in our physical bodies on this physical planet, dealing with other physical bodies that have their own things, their own stuff. And we live in a coexistence with that. Even if you were to take yourself out of all of that physically, at some point it will find you. At some point it's going to find you. Because you cannot run away from your physical existence. Well, you can. You can. But that's an unhealthy decision. The reason that you are here is to experience all that there is to experience. And the running away, the getting away, the wanting to not be in the spot that you're in means that you do not want to face what is being given to you. And so the process by which you can stay happens first by doing no harm to yourself. It is a process of allowing whatever it is that needs to unfold. Now, you can call 15 people, 20 people, one special person, and you can express how you feel. You can express where you are. You can express what's happening to you over and over again. But there is no person on this planet that can understand fully where you are right now in this moment than you. And this learning and accepting how to be in that space without anyone else recognizing it, anyone else understanding it, is of utmost importance. It's of utmost importance because at that point in space and time, you can connect with you and you. You can connect with your physical body, your physical senses, with everything that you're feeling. And you can ask your you, which lives so much higher than you, your spiritual essence, your God essence, your creator that lives inside of you, that created you, that knows you better than anybody else, for help to not run away, to not deny, to not ignore what you are experiencing, and to come in and help you sift through those thoughts. One of the ways that you can do that is by paying attention to every single thought, no matter how painful it is. Let's pull something out that is an obscure feeling, an obscure emotion. Jealousy. Jealousy is very obscure. Jealousy is an emotion that is really hard to nail down. So let's go through it piece by piece. You're on Facebook. You see a friend of yours. You know that you have worked just as hard in your circumstances as this friend has worked. But apparently, via pictures, via what is being said, your view of what they share is showing you that you're lacking. Somewhere you're lacking. Your home is lacking. Your pocketbook is lacking. Your vehicles are lacking. Your family support system is lacking. You don't have children. That's lacking. Your partner is not this glorious person that they're showing. Your partner is lacking, or you think your partner is lacking. What you are feeling is jealousy. What you are feeling, let's nail it down, is that you are not enough. And what you've created in your existence is not enough. But here's the thing. There's always going to be something bigger. There's always going to be something better. And even if you are to attain that, there's always going to be something bigger to see, better to see, bigger to want, better to want. So in order to nail down that jealousy, that feeling of, why can't my life be like their life? Why can't I have what they have? I know where I've been. I'm just as worthy. Yes, you are. And that feeling of not being enough, not being worthy enough, your experience that you're having right now doesn't match up, because what's in here and what's in here and what's up here and then higher up is not matching up. Because once you have the ability to tap into that, once you have the ability of doing yourself no harm, it doesn't matter what they're saying. It doesn't matter what they're doing. None of it matters. They've got $1 million. You've got $1,000. Your $1,000 is just as important as their $1 million, because you made that. You made that. There is no comparison. There is no comparison, because guaranteed that there is something in that person's life that they are experiencing that you are not. Guaranteed. And if it's not being experienced now, it will be experienced later. They're just not letting you know about it. And guess what? You don't need to know about it unless they tell you. And what you see is not the deepest, darkest thoughts of that individual. You have no idea when they wake up in the morning what's flooding their mind. You have no idea. This is what it means by it's none of my business. And however they feel about you, if it's a relationship issue, is none of your business. Because when you're tapped in, when you know who you are, when you understand who you are, and you have that connection to the highest of highest source, God energy, there is no lack. There is no lack. And when you see that there is no lack, and you understand that where you are right now is where you're supposed to be, different from over there, very different, but this is yours. And it's unconditional. It's unconditional. That love from up there into the you is unconditional. All of the conditions that are happening in your life right now come from outside sources that you've learned, and you've, for a lack of better terms, you have integrated yourself into that knowledge. You've learned it. You've learned all of those conditional things, such as if they do that one more time, if they say that one more time, if that person, if that situation, and then there's a block, there's a block, there's a block, there's a block, there's fear, there's jealousy, there's lack of love, unconditional love in here. And as you begin to love yourself, as you begin to understand that the love that your creation has for you by far overrides all of it, and you can sense it, and you can feel it, and you can know it, you will begin to release the blocks. No need to be jealous. No need to have fear. No need to worry. No need to discuss. No need to explain. No need, no need, no need. Because you are enough. And all that is happening is for your experience, is for your awareness, is for your focus, is for your clarity, is for your growth. That's why we're here. Let me just tell you something. If we didn't need to experience that, there's no reason for us to be here at all. We would be in a non-physical form, floating up there in the universe, with God, with source energy, dancing around the stars, and there would be no need to connect with any other person on this planet. There would be no need to have any experience, any deep, painful, grief-ridden experience. There would be no need to experience loss to the nth degree. There would be no need to experience lack. There would be no need to struggle. There would be no need to work to gain the finances to keep our homes. There would be no need. And there would be no need to learn. And there would be no need to understand your mission and your purpose for being here, which every single one of you has. Every single one of you. I am not anyone special. I am not anyone special. But my mission is to let you know how special you are. Everybody has their shit. And in looking at it, it can seem way worse than or way better than, but does not discriminate against what you are, what you have, what your experience is. You just have to get to that place where you say, there are no words that can express to the degree of what I feel, right now. And so I'm just going to not do that. And I'm just going to be still and try to process why. And I'm going to allow these thoughts to come in and go out the other side. And when there's a thought of lack, of need, of want, of disappointment, of fear, of jealousy, anxiety, discouragement, frustration, anger. Anger's a big one. Why are you angry? Why are you angry? You does not want you with them to be angry, because it doesn't matter what's been done to you. They know, and you know who you really are. And that's what you need to tap into. That's what you need to be turned on into. And once you begin to understand each emotion as it happens, and once you begin to replace, no, I don't have that house. Hell, I don't even have a 2-car garage. Hell, I don't even have 5 acres. I've got a 1/4 of an acre. Hell, I don't have tons of money in the bank, but I have money in the bank. But I have a nice piece of property that my little house is sitting on. And when I come home to it every day, I really love being home. And I have some pets that really love me to be home and I love being with. And I have kids, and yeah, they're struggling, but they're healthy. Or I have some kids and they're struggling, but they're alive. And I have some kids that they went through some really tough stuff, and I felt embarrassed, but they're making it through, and they're here, and I love them, and I love them with all my heart, and I'm proud of them. Or I don't have any kids, but I have this, and I have this, and I have this, and I'm really appreciative of what I have, and I know that at some point I'm going to be able to help somebody who has kids. These are the things that change and shift the gratitude and the appreciation of where you are right now in your spot. And some of your spots are really, really difficult. It could mean just being grateful for water and food. And I am not trying to minimize any of it. Any of it. Because there was a time when I didn't have a penny to feed my kids. And every place I went to get help, I was turned down. But I had a support system that stepped in. There was a church that caught wind and filled my freezer. It is being in that space of knowing that no matter what happens, you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. And you're going to trust that. You're going to believe it first. Even though you can't see it, even though you can't touch it, you're going to trust it. So I need to let my dog out. Be prepared for part 2. I'll be back in a second. Bye-bye.